Hey guys, I arrived at Țebea, an important place for Romanian history, and we are exactly in the Orthodox churchyard in Țebea, where is buried Avram Iancu, an iconic figure of Romanian history, along with Horia, Horia was the head of peasant revolution in 1784-85, and they are both buried here. About Horia we talked about in the video logs that we've had in Alba Iulia, when before we pass under the third gate of the city of Alba Iulia. If you remember well, up on the third gate there was a jail cell over there, where I explained that Horia, the head of the peasant revolution in 1784-85, was captured, kept, and afterwards he was tortured and killed, and his body is buried here under this big tree behind me. We're going to see the surroundings in a moment, but first I'm going to make a small history lesson, so we can all understand why this place is important for us, for me, for Romanians, and for things that became after the events of this made by these personalities in our history. So we're going to speak today about Avram Iancu. Avram Iancu was a lawyer, a Transylvanian lawyer back then. Back then Transylvania wasn't part of Romania as we know it today, and the other two regions that today form Romania is Romanian land and Moldavia. Both of them are back then in 1848, when the revolution started. Both were under Russian occupation, and this area in 1848 was involved in Hungarian Revolution. In 1848, the revolution that Hungary started to no longer be under Austrian occupation. And back then, this Transylvania had a majority Romanian people. There were more than 1,200,000 or 300,000 Romanians back then, opposite to Hungarian, which whom were about 600,000, and Germans about 200,000 or 300,000. And that was the time. Then was the time when Hungarians wanted to take this place, Transylvania, to include it in their own future country. I think that back then, in 1848, was probably one of the most one of the most conflict situation between Romanians and Hungary. There have been more than one, but this is one of it. When this guy, Avram Iancu, didn't agree with this idea, and this is the reason why he arose from Romanians that back then and now we call them moți, and succeeded to gather them and give them a purpose to fight for their freedom and to fight for abolish serfdom and asking for to give back to the peasant their rights and the freedom and their land and forests. There were lots of fights between 1848 and 1849. 2 years of fightings with an army less number than the Hungarian armies. This guy, as I said, he succeeded to train the people under his command in all kind of camps in Apuseni mountain, in Apuseni area, and he did a real good job because he didn't have so many arms and few people, and it was always overnumbered by the other side. Hungarians are the one with who he fought with, and these fightings helped a lot the Austrian army that was allied with the Russians to fight against Hungarians and finally to win this fight. This guy was really important for this cause because the House of Habsburg that win this victory had this victory pay a lot of respect to these people, and until one point, because after all these fights and the Franz Josef emperor, Römischer Kaiser, the emperor of Romans, wanted to decorate him with lots of decoration, and Avram Iancu didn't accept it because he wanted to receive the rights for his people and to abolish serfdom, as I said, and to receive their lands back. He was humiliated in 1952 in Vienna, and he was cast out of there. An event that put the mark on him and on his physique. And Romania now looks at him as a national hero because he fought for the freedom of this area, for the freedom of his people, and for their rights to live as a free man and to receive their lands and forests back. He died in 1872. He was buried here. He died. The history says that he died on the porch of a bakery of one of his friends in Baia de Criș, but other stories say that he was found dead and drunk and dead into a ditch. Who knows? History is history, but the most important thing is that this guy is really important to our history, and this place reminds us for his acts. So I'm going to show you the surroundings and the tomb. This is the tomb where he is buried. He asked before he died to be buried along with next to Horia's grave, and this big tree trunk is an evergreen trunk, and we call it the Horia's evergreen oak. He has more than 400 years old. He lived until 2005. He had the last branch that arose before the year of 2000, but in a storm in 2005 it broke the branch, and from that branch was made this cross, remembering also the great evergreen oak. Here is buried also Horia, another national hero, on his name Vasile Ursu Nicola, and from 1848 lots of personalities came around here and paid respect to both of them, I think. As you can see, they planted lots of evergreen oaks here. This is an oak planted by the King Ferdinand, our second king, and back there is the evergreen oak of his wife, Queen Mary. And of course, in Avram Yanku has also his own evergreen oak, and it's the one that we are looking at now. In each year we have a celebration here of what he used to be and what he represents today. And it's really wonderful that we keep the memories of those things. This evergreen oak has 9 meters in circumference, and he had a very long life, 400 years is a lot. Right, see you next time.